Hi, I'm the Dumb Blonde, and I am pissed off, and frankly, I'm ready for war against this hypocrisy and Orwellian doublespeak disguised as political correctness, which allowed for Ahmadinejad's invitation to speak at Columbia University, but mostly because it's the downfall of good judgment and reason in our society. You know, I'd like to thank the free love hippie generation that won't grow up for creating the hypocritical society in which we live. I call them Hippie-crites. Columbia and its hypocrite indoctrinating president being the perfect example. I had the privilege of being part of the first generation to reap the hypocritical indoctrination these lying hypocrites sow. I watched a Jewish attorney for the ACLU defend the neo-Nazis' right to demonstrate in Skokie, Illinois, a town with a large population of Holocaust survivors. And no, I am not a Zionist. I am frickin' appalled. As a result of the 1973 oil crisis, the generation of hypocritical love pushed for mileage controls on cars, drove little Honda Civics, saved the earth, and sanctimoniously berated their parents for driving gas guzzlers. Now, with 30 years less oil supply, the hypocrites drive 8-cylinder SUVs without compunction, while, of course, complaining about the environment. And hypocrites then demand the federal government provide them an alternative fuel to reduce global warming. The goddamn obvious alternative of using less fuel doesn't seem to be an option to their selfish little minds. Hypocrites have no intention of impinging on their gas-guzzling lifestyles when they can complain about the government not providing them alternatives to allow them to maintain their comfortable consumption levels. I mean, what else are the spoiled shit supposed to do? Walk? I mean, please, they're hippie-crites. Now, we get to the most dangerous hippie-crit concept, political correctness. PC. It means you should be more concerned with not offending another than being yourself, or, God forbid, speaking the truth. If you thought PC simply made secretaries, office assistants, and stewardesses flight attendants, as if they insist in the flight of the aircraft in any way, though oddly they do act as stewards and stewardesses, but I guess that's not the point. Anyway, if you think this is only semantics, and PC is not dangerous to large groups of people, you better think again. For example, if I were to ask you if rich white plantation owners who use darker-skinned people for cheap labor in the fields and to clean their houses is socially acceptable, what would you say? I mean, the plantation owners claimed they needed cheap imported labor, or they couldn't tend the fields and crop prices would soar. Would you call that slavery? Did slavery provide a better way of life for the slaves? Sorry, stupid question. I'm dumb blonde. Okay, well, let's just switch the word plantation for corporation. If I ask you if rich white corporation owners who use darker-skinned people for cheap labor in the fields and to clean their houses is socially acceptable, what would you say? The corporation owners claim they need cheap imported labor or they can't tend the fields and their crop prices would soar too. Do you call that slavery? Oh, no. I forget. Today, that's called providing a better way of life. I forget, dumb blonde. Besides, they're not called slaves anymore. The PC crew is cleaned that up. The politically correct term now is undocumented workers. See how PC simply turns the abhorrent into the semantically acceptable? God. And you thought only Hitler's regime could come up with stuff like that. So basically, I guess African slaves were really undocumented workers. Well, I'll let you tell the Reverends Al and Jesse, because frankly, I don't think they're going to buy it. So, why are we? I mean, both parties embrace slavery, now codenamed employment of undocumented workers. I'm sure the men standing at the slave markets, I mean day labor centers, who are being purchased, appreciate the distinction being made by the white people buying them. Political correctness may be political, but certainly not correct. It gets worse. The hypocrites want us to believe using good judgment is the same thing as being judgmental, and being discriminating is interchangeable with bigotry. Hypocrites hate profiling even if a definite description of a perpetrator exists, because many people who may fit that description are probably good, therefore we cannot discriminate and limit our search to people who are actually fitting the description. Just to be fair, we must shake down grandmas too. What fools. The majority punished to accommodate the few. God. So when we question why people have no sense of judgment or the ability to discriminate between right and wrong, is because the hypocrites rife in our universities have ensured poor judgment and a lack of discrimination in their desperate attempt to make everything seem all good. Here's a frightening example. When a guy at Circuit City received a video to be dubbed showing radical Muslim groups firing automatic weapons, heads covered in black hoods, yelling angry chants, hoping to blow up Fort Dix, the guy had to ask his fellow coworker, "Dude, should I call someone or would that be racist?" No, it would have been a discriminating mind using good judgment. That's what the hypocrites have robbed subsequent generations of with their politically correct doublespeak. I mean, no wonder students of Ivy League schools cannot understand why indiscriminately offering an invitation to speak to a brutal dictator is not required under our free speech laws. They can't judge people, so therefore they cannot discriminate between who is good and bad. Thus, if they don't allow everyone the same rights, they're violating freedom of speech in some sort of convoluted way in their minds. PC can also be explained as being more concerned with protecting others than protecting ourselves. And that is what Mahmoud and all the crazy people take advantage of in our society. Cicero said, "The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil." And you would hope the ability to recognize that a video of a radical Muslim group hooded in black, firing automatic weapons, and yelling angry chants on U.S. soil after 9/11 might be worth a ring to the cops. If anybody's ready for a war against this hypocrisy and Orwellian speak disguised as political correctness that disgracefully renames slave labor undocumented labor, please speak out. Our speech is as free as anyone else's. Besides, it's easy to defeat hypocritical PC logic, since those who support it consider themselves so broad-minded they can't even take their own side in an argument. Personally, I'm sick of the bullshit forced on us from 20% of our population, and I say we go fucking get 'em.